Strand. Happy to weave that into your mantle.
Kept it light for agility.
Sev is set to vent the tangles from the source when you're ready, Bryn.
I hope this works.
We have every reason to believe this will make the source tolerable for you. I'll tell Sev to get started. Dom and Khan Arteme will escort you to the rift with the Ark.
Looks like Sev was right. The rift has been vented. It's as safe as it's going to be.
You sure that rope can hold us both?
It'll do the job. Just try to land gracefully.
I always do.
Got it.
My magic will only carry the Ark for as far as I can see you. Good luck, Bryn of Carnhaven.
At least I don't have to carry it.
Bryn, you've kept me waiting.
Ignore it.
I plan to.
You'll find I demand attention. Admit it, you're a little curious about me. After all, you have paid me a visit in my cell.
I'm not listening to you.
But imagine what I could offer you if you did.
How'd that work out for Kenrick Staneld?
Breathe through it, Bryn. I know its voice is making your skin crawl. I feel it too.
It helps when you guys are talking, instead of it.
Then we'll keep talking. We're here for you.
No matter what that voice says, you stopped the Herald before. You can do it again.
you don't mind having him in your ear. Double standard.
Rin, you put your faith in me at the Grand Gate. I'm doing the same for you now. None of us would still be here if it weren't for you.
You're getting close. One last chance. Join me, and I'll grant you strength beyond your wildest dreams.
I've already told you, I don't need it.
If you're strong enough without me, why are there second crutches chattering in your ear?
They're not crutches. They're friends.
We could be friends.
What's so funny?
Couldn't destroy me with an arc of my size. And so you brought a toy instead. Join me. We will both become strong.
I stopped you once before.
You had help. than it was at the Grand Gate.
Bryn, what's dark?
Aurea?
Bryn, we're losing.
Arrogance is so typical of your species. The breach is too wide for your arc.
Breach? What breach?
The breach between our world and yours, of course.
You're from another world?
You call us Surgeborn, but we are ancient. As old as the tear between worlds that bleeds what you call magic. A wound your kind tore wider in their own quest for power. Until they could no longer contain it. And the inevitable happened.
The Surge.
The Surge. An event so cataclysmic in both worlds it shook them to their core. And it left a path. One I had to follow. Your kind have mastered the coral, indestructible and suffused with incredible power. How you barely understand and haven't earned. Power that should and will be mine. You can't hope to compete with me. I carry with me 1,000 souls and 1,000 bodies. You are an insect. Consider it an inherent failure of your species.
Could you shut up?
Does the truth strike a nerve?
No, you're annoying. And I'm trying to think.
Bryn! Arik managed to get the scry back, for now.
We've lost visuals.
The Herald is down, but regenerating. And the Arc of Verdance. It's working, but the raw magic is too much. The Arc can't pacify the Tangles.
You need to get out of there. Now!
No! I have to do something.
Bryn, we will find another way.
Don't bother. You will die. Just like the Eye's daughter.
Whatever it takes.
Her name was Isla.
Bryn. Can you hear me? Bryn. Talk to me.
Oh no.
Come on.
I...
is good to see you up and about again.
Thanks, Ev. Nothing keeps me down for long.
True, but don't go expecting anyone to pin a medal on you. Solar still doesn't think we should waste the materials.
Aw, you remembered. So, what's next for you, big guy?
The only thing left for me and Tarza are assassins. So, it looks like I'm staying. Not that the Veil gives us much choice, but you take my meaning.
The Axel will love to have someone with your expertise around.
Yes, I am a better collaborator than Stanil, she tells me. And she's willing to provide whatever I need. Just so long as it stabilizes things, and I mean that politically as well as magically.
She's like my mother. Always thinking about her role more than herself. Still, powerful patron to have on your side.
And unlike my last patron, at least she seems honest about our relationship. We will both benefit from my work.
Glad to see Lane's got you up on your feet. The Axel and I have opened up trade between our band and the Hearthsiders to support Sev's work with the aeroliths. She seems lighter since you got back from the source.
I'll have to check in with her and see for myself.
The relief efforts showed me it's difficult to pinpoint when a community is coming out of crisis. But there is one common marker. People start putting things on their calendar again. Could be as small as an appointment with your local apothecary, or as big as sending invitations to your wedding. You can't plan for the future when tomorrow's not a guarantee.
You think the Hearthsiders are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Not even close. But they're starting to live again regardless.
I don't know many weavers who could do what you just did and survive. Scratch that. I don't know any.
I feel a bit lightheaded from all the tonics, but otherwise, I'm back up on both feet.
We thought you had...
Darm and the Axel practically tossed me through the loom gate after I made my way back up the rope. They looked pretty shocked. I suppose, even with the tangles disappearing, the odds of me making it out of the chasm were slim.
Let alone surviving what the spindle didn't. You know, channeling your magic into that arc was risky.
She did it for the Enclave. So did I. And you would have done the same.
I can't argue with that. On to the next adventure, then.
On to the next.
Now that Casman's trading with the Hearthsiders, Khan Arteme has reached out to ask if I would forge arms for the Scouts. They've been wearing leftover Ark armor all this time. Though I'll have support from the Enclave's Smithing Guild, it'll be a long project.
Sev won't be teaming up with you on this one.
The Axel has Sev working on the tapestry right now. Besides, I'm just happy to see he's found his calling.
I didn't think it was possible, but he stands a little taller these days.
Me working with the Guild, Sev controlling the weather, you kicking major ass at the heart of the Enclave? Who would have thought we'd wind up here when we first passed through the Veil?
Not me. Part of me thought the Ark of the Stricken Earth was going to do me in.
Nah, we both know you never thought that for a second. We've all come a long way.
Do you ever miss the days when the stakes of the band's adventures were a little lower?
Strangely, not at all. It's been quite the rush. Though, give us a few more scares like you did when the scry cut out, and I might change my mind.
Don't worry. I can go without defying death again for at least a little while.
There she is.
I live!
I'll admit, you had us all worried for a beat there. but it's good to see you back on your feet.
How have you and the other scouts been doing recently?
Exceptionally well. The Surgeborn are still out there, but they're disoriented, scattered, something like that.
That will be easier to deal with for everyone involved.
Yeah, still dangerous, but it's like they're roaming aimlessly and only acting on instinct.
How are the people at Cassidy's Hold faring?
Everyone can feel it. Things are different. It's like a pressure we'd all got so used to has lifted.
Perhaps literally.
The raw magic, you mean? Hadn't thought of that, but you're probably right.
Tell me about you, Eric. This has been a lot.
Well, on the one hand, still getting used to the title, but it is coming in handy for throwing my political weight around. Hirun and I don't always see eye to eye, but she's sharp and we work it out. We're hoping to lift the restrictions on the scouts mingling with the larger Hold populace for one. Lots of happy families.
And on the other hand?
I feel like I've won some kind of prize being allowed to spend time with your band. You're all such veterans as weavers. It's an honor to feel like I've been accepted.
That all sounds positive. Any thoughts on where we go from here?
Well, there's one very important thing. You are not allowed to die or make me think you died anymore.
Oh, spirits. Yes, of course. I can work very hard on the staying alive front. Just for you.
All of us? Really? You didn't see the band's faces when the scry cut out. These people adore you. Anyway, beyond that, it's hard to say. I suppose we start to reclaim things. The Veil's not down, just stable. We work with that and see what other wild curves this place throws at us. And with you and your band here, I'm pretty sure we can handle anything. Oh, drat. Wait, no, thoughtless Dom. I am delighted to see you up and about, Bryn.
Are you sure?
I am delighted to see you. And, as it turns out, Lane has just emptied my purse.
Never bet against the alchemist about recovery times.
Indeed. A lesson I have zero regrets about learning, for it means you are up sooner than I would have thought possible.
We clearly did something at the source. But was it enough?
To stabilize things? Oh, yes. What's become abundantly clear is that the source had been damaged, though we're not sure how. Perhaps a small surge that cascaded into the real surge? That's all in the past, though. The current flow of magic seems to be balanced such that the Veil is consuming most of it.
That sounds good, right?
Oh, most definitely. It leaves us at an equilibrium. That is so much better than the alternatives.
What's going on with the Veil?
It's not coming down anytime soon, but it no longer seems to be overcharged. In retrospect, it's possible the Veil was the only thing that stopped the source from outright exploding.
How so?
Its activation pulled, and continues to pull, mind you, an enormous amount of magic away from the source. That draw was enough to slow the rush of magic. It's possible the reason the Veil went up so suddenly was as an emergency measure.
How's our little Ark friend holding up?
So far, very well. It continues to pacify the raw magic coming from the source, and is self-sustaining as far as we can tell, thanks to your little push. Please don't do that again, by the way. Very dangerous, and we're all terribly fond of you.
How about the tapestry? No chance we've managed to remove all the tangles?
Alas, no. Not visibly, but I did hear the Axel talking about an effort to restore the tapestry. She dropped your name a few times. They'll make a statue of you someday. Well, unless her political machinations all fall apart. Fewer statues in that case, but that's for the politicians, yes?
So, what's next for us, do you think?
I have every plan to continue studying the source while I can. The Axel has given me special dispensation. She feels my presence somewhat tempers the ambitions of the High Enchanter. He seems rather keen on becoming the next Spindle, less so on securing a sustainable future for the Enclave. At the same time, I'm told the alchemists are making a hard push for their representative to take the position. Their political jockeying buys me time to poke and prod the Enclave's secrets. I have no complaints. Solar's been teasing me about it incessantly, of course, reminding me to take a breath of all things. Which reminds me I do have some things to attend to, so I won't bend your ear unnecessarily. Here if you need me for anything, Bryn of Carnhaven.
You were tremendous at the source. I'll admit, I was rather worried about you, but... well, you made it through. And, dare I say, defined a generation of weavers in the process. You've made history and lived to tell the tale. Tremendous work.
You're right, of course. I'll need to be fated across the lands. Fame and fortune, here I come. Which is to say, don't compliment me too much. My ego won't cope.
I don't think anyone could blame you for having an inflated ego after taking down the greatest foe imaginable all by yourself.
And yet, I must restrain myself. What a cruel world. So, what's next on our to-do list?
Getting back into the thick of it already. Let me check my notes. I have a line of research I'd like to pursue. Come find me when you're ready.
Sounds interesting. I'm all over it.
I look forward to discussing it with you. It's been a remarkably difficult chapter for all of us. While there's still more to do, I think we can take a moment to congratulate ourselves on making it this far. Only then can we look forward. And after all, who knows what the future holds?
And after we congratulate ourselves, what then?
We get back to it, just like we always do.
Well said.
A pleasant morning to you. What's on your mind?
I've got something that I'm struggling to believe.
Then it must be something rather special.
It's about something the Herald said when I fought it in the source. It said that it was from elsewhere. A place we wouldn't be able to understand. And the Herald claimed to be older than the Surge. Much older.
That is a fascinating assertion. And we've received reports of it reappearing after you defeated it.
Right. I heard that too. I would have mentioned this earlier, but with all the action and me almost dying...
Say no more. I do, however, think that Aurea and Darm need to hear about this too. Aurea? Darm? Would you mind coming over here?
You're looking uncharacteristically serious, Lane.
I'm looking normal, I think. But you are correct.
Bryn?
The Herald claimed to have existed for a long time before the Surge. And it said that at the heart of the source, there's a breach between worlds. That's where the Surgeborn came from.
I don't know how we'll tell everyone about this. Will they panic? Will they even believe us? Should we tell them at all?
Hold on, Lane. You're jumping to conclusions. It's possible that the Surgeborn was lying.
It's true. Even though it never technically lied to Bryn, it certainly enjoyed its little mind games.
I really don't think that's the case. It wanted Bryn to join it, and this would explain so much about the origin of the Surgeborn.
I believe the solution to our worries is, as always, more research. Bryn, since we've received reports of the Herald reappearing, would you mind hunting it down for us again? Specifically, to know for sure whether it is as otherworldly as it claimed to be, I will need you to harvest its pattern, as fresh as possible for me.
Absolutely. I've already killed this thing twice. A third time will be a piece of cake.
Splendid! Understanding the unknown kills any fear it may hold over us. Is this course of action acceptable to you two?
Yes. Sounds good to me. What do you think, Lane? Would that make you feel better?
I suppose that's a sensible way forward. Sorry, big revelation. I need to take some time to process this. Dom, will we analyze the resonance together? I need to prepare my workstation.
One step at a time, my friend.
Of course. The resonance, yes. Good luck, Bryn.
Don't need luck when I've got a team like you behind me.
Goodness, you're irrepressible. You've just been to the brink of death and back, but you're already back up and at it. You're allowed to take a break, you know.
I get bored easily. Much rather be out here getting things done.
Well, I'll say this. Your efforts haven't gone unnoticed. With the Ark of Verdance doing its work at the source, the raw magic is beginning to dissipate. In time, we'll be able to secure a workspace. Then, we can start repairing the tapestry. Everyone in the hold has begun to look to the future. Many never had a reason to. Children and adults alike, sensing the intoxicating allure of newborn hope.
I know what it's like to watch your people rebuild after dark times. It's hard, but beautiful too.
I've been asked by a citizen committee to establish our first new holiday in decades. Spindle's Day, they want to call it.
Ah. How do you feel about it?
I wish things were different. And I know she would have hated all the attention, but I think it's right.
She'd be really proud of you for stepping up.
I would hope so too. It is the least I can do to honor her memory, day by day. When we met, before your expedition to the source, I was ready to tell you that it was completely reckless. But when you ran through how everyone contributes to your success, that was the moment I knew we might have a chance. I wasn't quite as confident as you, but I at least felt something close to it.
And how about now?
I believe you can do anything you put your mind to. Anything else would be ignoring the incredible achievements of some truly unexpected guests.
I'll let them know you said that.
Please do. As always, I have a great deal on my plate to get back to. Promise me you'll take a break. If only to spend time with the people you care about.
I will.
You just couldn't take a break, could you? But no. Instead, you had to unearth a revelation so dangerous it could destabilize the entire Maida Basin.
Not my fault. Incredible discoveries just fall into my lap.
Right. I admire the work your band did on researching the Herald. Lane, in particular. Hold on tight to them. They're an extremely valuable resource.
Their contributions are tremendous. The alchemy alone. With that, plus the number of times their research has saved our hides, I don't think they could leave the Weaver Band even if they tried. We wouldn't let them.
You would be fools to do so. I wanted to mention, by the way, if you could pass this along, Lane's welcome to visit the Hold anytime. Open invite. I'll always appreciate hearing their thoughts.
I'll pass it along.
Now, I'd better get back to it. Paperwork won't do itself. As it turns out, I'm rather glad you tore down Asylum. I was not at the time, but Arakim's come a long way since he started working with your band.
Arak feels you appointed him as a political move.
Oh, I absolutely did. I'm pleased he recognizes it. A bright future awaits him. I need someone who will push, and he will most certainly do that. His findings, though, are deeply concerning, along with the obvious failures of the tapestry exposed by Sev's research. But I see it as an opportunity. The tapestry needs to be repaired, and we have the means. Nothing catalyzes and unifies people like a problem they can actually solve.
Making you seem like a very effective leader.
Yes. Yes, it does. Quite the impressive investigation you and your Ram friend instigated. With those results, we could repair the tapestry and eventually reclaim the underworks. With the Surgeborn in obvious disarray, now is the time to move.
Happy to help.
I'll reach out to Sev myself and let him know how much I appreciate it, and his expertise. I'm encouraged by the research Sev's done on the tapestry. He has a quick mind.
The opportunity to prove himself outside of the Norians means a lot to him.
We're going to find out what he can do with a team backing him up. It's key we repair the tapestry as quickly as possible. I shudder to think what might happen if the Ark of Verdance should fail.
It seems I owe you and Sebastian a word of thanks.
Unexpected, but you're welcome. What's happening?
Harun has seen fit to approve my involvement in the tapestry repair. As much as it is irksome to be assigned work, I will confess I was getting rather bored and lost in my own thoughts. Something to do will help, I'm sure.
What? Are we no longer on speaking terms after I kicked your otherworldly ass at the source? You can't talk. We didn't just cut off your ability to access the scry. The Ark of Verdance must have done something to you at the source. Huh. I wonder what this means. There's the Herald. I know I can harvest its pattern. Just need to do it again.
I'm pulling you. Brace for it.
Good news. I harvested the Herald's pattern.
Splendid. If you'll let me handle the resonance. Dom, come and look at this. Bryn's brought back the Surgeborn resonance, and...
Fascinating. It really is like nothing I've laid hands on.
the Herald was telling the truth, then. About this, at least.
Walk me through it, team.
Dom, do you want to?
Yes. This is the second resonance I've had access to, and I didn't realize before, but it's clearly not of this world. It resembles nothing mentioned in any literature I've ever seen. The Hearthsiders' libraries have nothing about this, not even the Spindle's tomes. Exploring the possibility of other worlds could consume decades of a researcher's life, and they barely scratched the surface. It was a theoretical, primary theological pursuit before, but this strand changes everything.
So you're suggesting this is an entirely novel field of research?
That is precisely the fact of the matter, my curly-haired friend.
So, for those of us who aren't academics, what's the takeaway here?
Our understandings of the mechanisms of the universe will fundamentally shift as a result of this.
Great. Love that. Does that mean there could be more places like the Source?
Anything is possible. Though, the lack of Surgeborn outside of the Enclave suggests that wounds between worlds are extremely rare.
I see. And what about the resonance I brought back? Is that dangerous at all?
The resonance is self-healing, but beyond that, It seems that some other element dictates the Herald's regeneration. I would not be surprised if you saw it again, but without its connection to home, it will not be able to evolve or adapt.
So the resonance heals itself, but it won't turn into a Surgeborn on its own. Good.
There's something else to worry about. One large thing. What amount of this information are we comfortable sharing? And with whom?
I wish I could draw from weaving history to provide guidance, but something this big has never happened before.
The Axel has always appreciated our transparency. We should tell her first.
I would assume she's busy with her duties as interim leader, but on the other hand, I've no clue. Truly, my font of wisdom runs empty.
I think this one's big enough that we can bother her about it without feeling guilty.
You're right, of course. I'll meet you in Cassidon's hold. I just need to document this while it's fresh in my mind.
And I will continue experimenting. What a wonderful opportunity.
See you in the hold, Lane.
Good morning, Khan Arteme. Might we trouble you with some questions of a fairly important nature?
You're already here, so you may as well.
This is a pretty big one, for the record.
We have learned something astounding about the Surgeborn and the fundamental nature of the Source.
Something new?
Yes. When Bryn was engaged in combat down in the Source, the Herald spoke to her of its origins. It told her it hailed from another world, and at the Source is a celestial wound through which the Surgeborn found their way here.
We thought it might have been lying, trying to throw me off. But recently, we realized it's regenerated. So I killed it again. Took a resonance from its pattern to Lane and Dom, and
It was all true.
all of it.
Dom is very excited about the existence of other worlds and will continue researching. But it sits ill with me.
How so?
You and I spoke at length on how the truth, the whole truth, must be made available to all. But this isn't just some political secret. It changes our approach to everything. Religion, weaving, the way we place ourselves in the world.
I understand. I assume you've thought a great deal about this. Give me a risk assessment.
That's just the thing. Understanding more about the world. It's beautiful. Wonderful. I have enough perspective, however, to know that the same may not be true for others, especially those who have lived here through the Surge. Would it bring peace to their hearts? Would this knowledge, shared free to all, improve their lives? I fear not. But perhaps I am the fool for thinking that I am wise enough to know what is best for others.
I see. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. First things first, we need to find out what Kenrick knew about this. Let's fetch him, shall we?
What do you want?
I was hoping to draw on some of your memories, if you wouldn't mind. It's in regards to a security matter.
If it's a security matter, then those two shouldn't be privy to it.
That's no longer your call. In the years where you held the Surgeborn Talon in custody, did it ever speak to you of its origins?
I will not incriminate myself.
I'm simply asking a question from someone who's in charge to someone who was in charge.
And you may simply ram that question up where the sun doesn't shine.
You're useless. You may leave.
I'm useless. I'm not the one chasing religious fairy tales about worlds beyond our own. Ridiculous.
So you knew, and kept it to yourself. That's more than enough from you.
I'll leave you to your hunt for a desert Akala then.
Exhausting. I'm sorry about him, as always. Now, given the services you have rendered us, I believe you deserve a little trust. So I'll listen to what you think I should tell our people of the Herald and the worlds beyond ours and whatever else.
It's humbling to have earned such trust, and we won't squander it. Before I speak, do you have any thoughts on this, Bryn?
I trust you more than I trust myself. On this, at least. You've shown that you can make the right choice, so I'd rather leave this to you.
Oh, well, that's fine too. I wouldn't have minded hearing your thoughts, but I appreciate the vote of confidence. 3 major facets of this problem loom in my mind. First, that of the research possibilities. Keeping this revelation under lock and key would obviously gatekeep untold numbers of discoveries. Second, that of those who adhere to the various religions around the Maida. I fear that disclosing the existence of other worlds to the public at large could upset a great many people at best, and trigger a holy war at worst. They have been waged on far smaller provocations than this. Finally, and most importantly, so many of the problems we've encountered here have been because people kept secrets. Whether they were forced to keep them or not, the existence of those secrets significantly hamstrung our efforts to learn about the Enclave. If I had any choice in the matter, I would change that status quo in a heartbeat.
Now is your chance. If you want to seize the moment, I will respect your choice.
The irony is that I find myself faltering on the precipice, because I've now been presented with truly dangerous knowledge. Before I entered the Enclave, before we undertook this wondrous journey, I would have been adamant that everyone know each intimate detail. But now, I believe we must find an acceptable truth to share. But not the whole truth.
What do you have in mind, then?
Subject to your approval, we start by telling your people the story of the Source, the entire truth, barring that of the breach. Then we tell the people that, as it stands right now, the monster they saw at the Grand Gate is eternal. But more importantly, we are working on ways to combat it. We keep its true origins close to our chest. Knowing how to contain the Surgeborn is much more important. For now, we tell part of the truth. We share select details and let the people weave their own interpretations. We control the narrative by allowing conflicting narratives to spread. And one day, the denizens of the Maida may be ready to know the full truth. Is that acceptable to you, Karnatame?
Yes, it is. And might I say, you would have made an amazing politician had you stayed in Udea.
That's kind of you to say. But I have too strong a moral core to do that kind of work.
Very understandable. It's not for everyone. Nevertheless, I will communicate our story to the public. Let's hope the ensuing chaos is limited. I'd like to build trust again.
It's the right thing to do.
Lane, Bryn, thank you for your time and assistance.
It has been our everlasting pleasure, Karnatame. Bryn, I'd like to speak to you, alone, if you have a moment.
Oh, is something the matter?
Yes. Follow me, please.
So, what's up? You sounded pretty serious back there.
I come to you with a matter of great import, and I do need you to take this seriously.
Yeah, of course.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. It took me by surprise. A lot of things have, recently. Do you know that when you laugh, the birds go quiet to listen? Or maybe I'm just so attuned to it that I filter the birds out. You make me laugh, too. I think back to the things you've said, and I chuckle to myself, and Darm always asks why I'm laughing, and I can't really explain. It's silly, maybe, but I think I've fallen for you. The idea of us is silly, maybe. I don't know. Is it? I'm sorry if this is inappropriate. We work and live together after all, but I couldn't go another day without bringing this to you.
So, I had a hunch. And I'm appreciative, I really am. I think you're amazing.
But?
I just don't feel the same way.
Right.
Are you okay?
My opinion of you is unwavering, Bryn. Regardless of whether our feelings align on this.
I appreciate you saying that. You're a good friend, Lane.
No regrets when it comes to honesty. I need a little time to process, though, if you wouldn't mind.
Take all the time you need. Talk later?
Talk later. So?
This sucks, right? I don't want things to be awkward.
There's not a jot of shame to be had about expressing one's true feelings. Though, I wish I had expressed them earlier, before I got so invested in the outcome. But perhaps they would not have been so ardent had I rushed it.
You're really great, Lane. You'll make someone very happy someday.
I know. And I'll always appreciate having you as a friend and comrade.
Of course.
I'll let you go, and I'll get back to my work. I'm all right. Promise. I feel as if a great weight has been lifted from my shoulders. When one begins to live their life beyond dusty old tomes, they must reckon with the complexities that are part and parcel of lived experience. Which is to say, you have truly been an agent of change in my life, Bryn. In wonderful ways, of course.
Well, you're not so bad yourself.
I try my best. But really, I feel good.
How are you feeling about your research as a whole?
Excellent. I'm going to chronicle everything. Even if some of it may not see the light of day for some time, I have faith that it will, someday. And when it does, it will be useful to those who need it.
And what about that? Keeping it under wraps, I mean.
I suppose I have learned a sense of nuance. In Udea, keeping secrets was like breathing, but almost every secret was trivial or petty at best. And, more importantly, kept as a means through which to exert power. That was Kenrick's approach too. Power through secrets. Whereas I would hope that my reasons to keep secrets are driven by a sense of care and kindness. Do you think so?
I do. And more importantly, I know you're the kind of person to seek outside accountability if you need it.
With you and everyone else at my back, my worries are now few and far between. All that remains is to continue my research. And I'll need you to keep bringing back items of interest, of course.
I won't stop looking for things to bring home. Don't you worry.
Then I won't keep you. Get adventuring. It's a tragic story, really.
The dissenters?
Yes. They were scared. Everyone was. And I don't blame them for not trusting the eye. So they did what they felt right, and...
It all went wrong anyway.
Feels a bit familiar, doesn't it?
I think we fared a little better than they did, in the end. We might still be stuck in the Enclave, but we've achieved so much. Especially when it comes to the Hearthsiders. They trust us now. And if we work together, I'm sure we can find a way back out.
Very true. I'm sure the dissenters would have been happy to see the progress we've made. While their methods may have been ineffective, it's important to remember that they were a product of circumstance. After all, it's hard to make wise choices in a climate of panic. Their intentions were good. So, I would like to imagine that our efforts honor their memories, at the very least.
For sure. Who would have thought the Herald was telling the truth about the source?
Not me. The fact that it so readily shared that information, it doesn't sit well with me.
Do you think it was trying to manipulate us?
Every word it ever spoke was in service of that goal. Just focus on what you do best. Answers will come with time.
Will do.